Well, we've given everybody a few minutes to get signed in, so let me go ahead and jump into it. Really appreciate again all of your time. Thank you so much for joining us today. Typically, we would be joined by a couple other members of our team. Unfortunately, they had some other things come up, so you're stuck with me and Sean today. But we're really excited to connect with you. And we'll talk a little bit about appetite, what fits, what doesn't fit, when you should think of MGT. We'll run through a quick demo of the platform so you can see it in action and just get a sense for how it's going to work and see live, how fast and how easy it really is to submit, find, issue, service policies with MGT. And then at the end, we will answer any questions you might have. Along the way, we do have audio disabled for attendees. We just get a lot and it can get kind of loud. So please share any questions in the chat. We'll answer those as they come up. And I challenge you, try and stump me. So bring it on, ask me your tough ones, and we'll see how I do.
I like that. I like that they're going to try to stump you. Yeah, put your questions in the chat, and I'll flag Dan down if he's in the middle of his presentation, and we can get it answered.
Perfect. So first off, just starting with appetite, MGT is a market for about 230 classes of business. If you want a really easy rule of thumb, what fits, what doesn't fit, think of us for a lot of the types of business you drive by on your way into the office. We are writing professional offices, medical offices, a lot of different retail store classes. That's actually a really strong performing segment for us. Wholesalers and distributors. The appetite there pretty much aligns with our retail store appetite. So if you've got a beauty supply store, we'll write that. If you have a beautician, we'll write that. And if you have a beauty supply wholesaler, guess what? We'll write them too. We do write nail salons, barber shops, coffee shops, grocery stores, convenience stores, anything from taxidermists to locksmiths to trophy makers, you name it. A lot of businesses in your community should be a great fit here at MGT. We are definitely targeting small business. So for us, what's that mean? Up to 3 million in receipts for most classes of business, up to 5 million in receipts for office risks. We'll write up to $2 million total insured value per location, up to 4 locations per policy. That's actually a really great feature. A lot of carriers that play in the same arena we do might give you 2 million for the entire policy. If they have 4 locations with MGT, you could actually get up to $8 million in property coverage. That's pretty darn nice. So definitely think about us on those opportunities. Let's see what else. Anything from 1 to 100 employees. We do accept new ventures. We do accept people who've had coverage lapses, claims history, just depending on the circumstances, what happened. We do accept coastal business, although we don't write building limits for coastal risks. We do accept PC 9 and 10 locations. We do accept older buildings. That's actually a great little selling point. And I find this really resonates a lot in certain areas of the country where they were just built back in the early 1900s, maybe even late 1800s, 1950s, even 1970s. I find this really resonates in the Northeast, in the Midwest, a lot of small towns too. I'll talk to small town agents every day. And, it starts off, they say, we just don't really think we have a whole lot that fits with you. And then we start talking about it. They learn a little bit more about our appetite, and you'll be surprised how many opportunities you might have that actually would be a good fit with us. So the appetite is great, but the real attraction with MGT, I think, is the speed and the ease of doing business and how you actually access that appetite. And so that's what we're going to take a look at now. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And I've got this pulled up to our dashboard. This is what you'll see as soon as you get logged in to mgtinsurance.com. The dashboard does exactly what you would want a dashboard to do. You can start quotes here. You can also manage quotes that you and your team have been working on. And you can click into the Policies tab to access self-service features. To access those, just click View Self-Service in that drop-down box, and then click into the Documents and Communications page. In this page, there's a lot of great information available to you just at the click of a button. For example, if you ever bind one with us, maybe 2 weeks later, you'll get a phone call, something along the lines of, "Oh, Dan, I knew I bound my policy with you, but I never got a receipt. Do I have insurance? What if I had a fire right now? What's going on?" Don't panic. Just 2 clicks will get you into this page of the website, and you can confirm your policy is active, talk them off the ledge a little bit. You can let them know down to the second when we sent that receipt. You can open that message as well if you need to confirm any details, like maybe what payment card it went through or what bank account it came from. You can also download policy documents. You can create certificates, and you can download the declarations page as well. There's a lot of good information available to you here. And then if you click back into the account tab, that'll take us to this main section. You can also see we have a payments tab, so you can manage and track payments, and a claims tab, so you can file claims and see what's going on with a claim that's maybe in progress too. We'll click on the name in the upper right-hand corner to go back into the main dashboard. And then to start a quote, first thing we'll do is enter the class of business. This is a really great little tool all in its own right. It has some keyword search built in, so you don't have to memorize every single NAICS code. And it also knows our appetite on a class code level. So for example, maybe you get a phone call from a roofer, come to MGT, type roofer in, it knows roofer is a type of contractor. And it also knows that contractors are out of appetite for us right now. So, the nice thing there is it's really just giving you that information. As soon as we know the answer, it's not making you do a bunch of practice quoting. We know you already know how to quote. And it's just a great way to get a quick sense of whether this will fit or whether you need to pivot, find a plan B. So the other nice part about that keyword search is, say you're talking to someone you know as a doctor. You type that in, it's going to pull up all those different medical office codes, and then you can find the one that best describes the risk from there. And once you get a class of business selected, you'll see a little description, just an opportunity to check in, make sure that description is accurate and fully describes the risk. Then you'll put in the address, pretty self-explanatory there. Just click go once you've got that entered in. And then in the next page, you'll see a little street view of that location. This is a great opportunity to validate the risk, make sure first off that we're quoting the correct address. Double check things like the siding, the condition of the sidewalk and the parking lot. You can take a look around, make sure there's no dynamite factories next door. We'll start to ask some questions too about the type of coverage that we're offering and a couple high-level qualifying questions to go along with that. So for example, if we have a risk that needs building limits, one thing that comes up pretty frequently is a situation where maybe you have like a strip mall, 5 units.
Oh no, it looks like we lost Dan there for a moment. I think he'll likely be back, but we'll see. Let's give him a moment to see if he can come back. Sorry about that, everybody. It's about 100 degrees where I am here in New York, and I know Dan's in Virginia, so I'm hoping that it's not a power-related failure here. If anybody has any additional questions in the chat, now would be a good time to do it. I will also put some information in the chat to give you information about other ways to contact us. Dan put the support email address and the underwriting email address in there, and that's excellent. I'm also going to put in this little note. We've added a chat support feature to the website. So if you head on over to mgtinsurance.com, you can also chat with us on intercom at any point. It's in the bottom right-hand corner. I'll put that message in here now. And I already told you about Amy. Amy's really terrific. If you ever have an appetite question and it's after hours, or you have an appetite question and it's maybe support isn't around to help or something like that, or you just need it instantly, go ahead and head on over to mgtinsurance.com, or you can use that link I put it earlier in there. That's mgtinsurance.com/Amy. And that will take you directly to the appetite agent. We're always keeping her up to date. She can answer all sorts of questions about risk and states and coverage and all sorts of stuff like that. So make sure you check that out whenever you get a chance. Oh, great. It looks like Dan's back.
I'm back.
We just had a little chat.
And so where I left off was just in the very first page. In this page, we're going to deliver some basic information about the organization. Nothing too complicated here. The description of operations and the address are pre-filling from that last page. All we have to do is enter the name, phone number, gross sales, some information about the business owner, and then we can add any additional locations in this page as well. Click continue. In the next page, we'll be able to set the effective date. We'll answer a couple more questions about the business, a little information about their insurance history, and then we'll click continue again. And we're all done now with step one. In step two, we'll share a little bit more information about their operations and start to define the scale and the scope of what they're doing. You can see here, this question set is not super heavyweight. It's 1 page, 7 total questions for a grocery store. Pretty straightforward. And this page is populating the questions based on the class of business. So we're not going to be asking you a bunch of stuff that's just completely irrelevant to the risk. We'll click continue here. And then in the next page, we'll start to enter some information about the buildings and the locations. So quick pro tip to share. I see this happen a lot where in that first page, someone will answer, yes, we need building limits. And then by the time they make it here to page 3, take a second look at those apps and see it's actually a rental unit. Good news is you don't have to restart your submission. Just click on this top drop-down box, select business personal property only. That'll remove all the building information from the submission, and then you can just proceed through with a nice and easy BPP only quote. Even when we are including building information though, it's still nothing, super heavyweight. Pretty basic questions here. How big is it? What's it made out of? When was it built? What's the roof look like? Couple questions about what's going on inside. We do have a built-in replacement cost estimate for you as well. And this just takes some of the details we know about the building, calculates out the average price per square foot to replace it. But this is a free entry text box. So if the number we think is right is different from the number you want to use, you can still go in and enter in anything into that box. If it's too far outside of our allowed variance, it may refer, which just gives our underwriting team a chance to check in with the risk, make sure we're rating it correctly, and it's going to be an accurate rate for their exposure. Once all that's entered in, just click continue. In the next page, you can add any additional insureds that need to be added, and then click continue again. And at this point, we've actually entered in all of the rating information on the risk. All that's left now is the fun part where we get to choose some optional coverages. This page also is going to populate based on that class of business and the state. So it's only showing optional coverages that are eligible. So that's one thing you can always feel confident about. Our system only produces bindable quotes. And so any quote, as long as the underlying information is accurate and complete, you can take it to the bank. We're not going to show you coverages or deductibles or limits that aren't available. We're only going to give you quotes that you can stand behind. So once you've got the optional coverages selected, click continue. And then in the next page, there will be a couple underwriting questions about that coverage just to confirm that it's available, set terms, set limits. Click continue again, and then everything is answered. So we can click see your quote. And when that little blue circle starts to spin in the middle of the screen, that's really where the magic's happening. Behind the scenes, it's running a bunch of different checks. It's scoring the risk in 18 different ways. It's geolocating it. And that's what you might be waiting for a human underwriter at a legacy carrier a couple days, maybe even a couple weeks to complete for you. And you can see here, we turn that around in seconds. So MGT is a direct bill carrier. We have pricing available in either quarterly installments. It's very transparent about what the down payment is, what each installment will be. And then we also have annual payments available, and there is a discount for that, which it will show you right underneath. The rest of this page, I'm certain, looks extremely familiar for anybody who's on this webinar. You've probably seen 2 million pages that look just like this. So won't spend a lot of time here. Only thing I'll highlight is we're not automatically including every coverage under the sun. We really want you to be able to tailor this to that insured, what their risks, what their concerns are. So we're also not charging a lot of premium for coverages that don't really apply either. So once you've got everything dialed in, it's just the way you like it, click continue. And then in the next page, all these boxes now are grayed out. This is what we'd consider the active version of that quote. You can print the quote out here, just takes all this information, puts it into a nice little PDF you can send out as part of your proposal. If you do need to make any changes from here, you can always click previous, go back, edit the information. Once they're ready to move forward, just click confirm and purchase. In this page, you'll have the option to either send a payment link to the prospect or collect their payment information live. We've just found over the years that not everybody likes to share credit card information over the phone. And our BOPs do include some limits for cyber liability. So when people are hesitant to share that PII, we appreciate that. Thank them for us. In that case, all you have to do is confirm their email address. It will send them a nice secure payment link. When they click into that link, it's going to look just like this. And this is about as straightforward as it gets. Just select annual or quarterly payments, e-check, credit, or debit. I'll pause right here and quickly highlight, we do not charge any payment fees, no matter how they choose to pay. Enter in the billing zip. Auto pay is automatically selected. You can always turn it off if that's not a good fit. However, we do see it increases retention and recommend keeping it on. Got the address and contact info, that all pre-fills, confirm their address, agree that they are actually allowed to purchase this policy. There is a link here to print the application. We don't require signed apps to bind. However, I do work with a lot of agents that like to get those apps signed, retain them, keep a paper trail, completely support that. But it doesn't have to hold you back. So if there's ever a situation where, it's just taking a long time to get that signature back and you've got everything else, they're ready to go, no problem. Just enter the information, click submit payment. And as soon as that payment goes through, we'll instantly bind and issue the policy. You'll also have instant access to all those documents. So you'll receive an emailed receipt. That way you have a record this transaction did actually occur. You'll have access to certificates, the deck page, policy jacket right away. You don't have to keep coming back and checking to see when it's ready. We will also send an invitation to the policyholder to create an account on the platform so they can access all those great self-service features as well. So, I hope that after seeing this, you can see I'm not just talking about it. When I say that, MGT is super fast, super easy, over 80% of our policies go from logging in to start a quote to bound and issued in 10 minutes or less. What we want to do is take all this work that comes your way, all these tasks that come your way that should be easy, make it actually just really, really easy to accomplish your goals, protect businesses in your community, keep your relationships strong and healthy and happy, and also not take up your whole day. We know you have a lot to focus on, a lot of competing objectives and goals. We want to help you accomplish anything that would fit with MGT, but we also want you to have the freedom to work on everything else that is important for you to work on too. And one last note, we are running a just great little promotion to celebrate Independence Day and our independent agents. Any accounts that are bound between today and July 7th will pay out 17.76% commission. So express your freedom to quote. We are fully armed and operational every day. So if your other favorite underwriter is out of office or backed up because too many people are taking vacation, you can instantly quote, bind, issue, service, and renew policies through the MGT platform 24/7, 365.
That's awesome. And I like that it celebrates America.
That's right. That's what we're here for. The
Right.
small businesses that really fit well with MGT. It's the small businesses that are the backbone of the economy.
Yeah.
So not to wax too poetic, but I think we all find a lot of value and a lot of meaning in protecting those businesses and helping people make those investments and feel confident that they're going to continue to be able to put food on the table, even if they have a really bad day.
Really well said, Dan.
So that's it. I think typically it takes about 12, 15 minutes for me to get through one of these demos. But without my narration, it's always a little bit faster for you doing it on your own. So I hope you can see exactly how fast and how easy it is to work with us. One last thing, which is just to share my contact info, Dan at mgtinsurance.com. Phone number 720-802-8370. If you have any special support needs, urgent requests, I know this time of year is really a busy one. Please feel welcome to reach out. I'll make sure you get helped out. We are here to support you. So thanks so much for joining us, and thanks so much for being a MGT agent.